See what Team Solo Mid can do. Dignitas, like you said, may have taken a hit there in the momentum.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult for them, but they're a seasoned team.
Yeah.
All of these guys have been through very long tournaments before. They know how to hold it together. I still have confidence in this Dignitas squad. I think that they have a better chance than that 13%. It's funny that you mentioned Cloud9 too in relation to Solo Mid, because Dyrus, he said that him and Wild Turtle had some pretty big mistakes and they were not happy with that game. So hopefully they'll have patched those up and they'll look to show up big here.
We'll have to see what happens as the bans continue to go out. We are into your 4th matchup of the day here, day 2 of the summer split, and it's just started. I'm so glad we have a super week to bring this in. Some Evelyn and Rise, Skara getting some focus there right off the bat. They're focusing him in. He has been expanding the champion pool, but he's still working on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the name of the game against Dignitas. Everybody's been doing it. I guess it's peer pressure now.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, just ban out Skara, because then you make him search for a different solution. He's already got a couple of champions that he's comfortable with now that he's branched out.
Jace
but
TF
he doesn't even use that Gragas anymore that he was really known for, even though people have been leaving that one open.
It's absolutely been open. We saw Probably use it to a great extent in TF Jace. Either or, that goes to Jace, and they may get the TF pick here for Skara if they force him into that. It's going to actually be a Kha'Zix right away. TF on the board.
So they go with the other AD assassin that is left open. Kha'Zix right now, extremely powerful. Once we get the battle cry from Rivington coming out, and that will let everybody at home know that he's getting resets and he's going to be jumping around
making
the field.
Moves. Odd One looking to pick something up. He has been liking the Elise. They switch off it though. Kennen has also made it through the ranks this time around. He has been wreaking havoc on the Rift lately as well.
I feel like there's a really big bandwagon with Kennen, Rise, Kha'Zix, Jace. Like, those 4 are just super popular. There was some stat about 100% on most of those champions being picked and banned, they've all been one of the first picked or something. We've seen how much a good slicing Maelstrom can change a game. That Kennen ultimate, the mini stuns can really just get you out of your comfort zone.
It hits up 3 people 3 times, so you're going to get full stuns on those targets. That's absolutely huge, especially now with the disengage they bring to the fight. They have an Elise, whether they want to go hard or back out. We'll have to see what Dignitas can answer with, because that's not really something you can answer to. You just play against the Kennen and Elise.
Yeah. I mean, Kennen, a lot of people are like, why is everyone jumping on this Kennen train now? Nothing different happened, but actually, it was a pretty big change taking the energy cost off of his ultimate. Because it allows him to stay in the fight longer using his other abilities, the Shuriken and the electrical surge. And so
it was almost difficult to go into a fight because you had to activate your E, pass through, and get a refund to use the ultimate and then get your proc.
It's actually completely changed his all-in. So it is actually very significant, and that's kind of why we've seen so much of him.
So on to Dig, Zach. Ezreal being picked up here. Looks like they're going to keep some long-range safety in here. Cutie Pie, again, going on Ez.
A lot of familiar faces here. Zach also very popular. Meteos is a huge fan of that one. I think that has a lot to do with the passive, and Meteos wants to keep that very clean record going. But it's definitely a very strong champion. Maxing the elastic slingshot first is what most people have been doing these days, and it's just so potent as a ganking tool, as well as just mobility for the jungler getting around the map.
Now we'll have to see within these last few picks, if you can say it, if they're taking into consideration what they're seeing on the board right now, because it does seem like they're kind of just going comfort zone. We've kind of heard the players say it. Since we haven't seen each other, we're all going with what we know is strong in solo queue and using that to our advantage. And it's been working for a lot of teams here, but some teams just not finding the composition effect from having good solos.
Yeah, how it all comes together really means a lot. Right now, Dignitas have 2 sort of hopping champions with the Kha'Zix and the Zac. So if they can actually if they actually do go with this extra fizz, it'll be another assassin with another hop, and there'll be a very well, I guess Renekton has a slice and dice as well. It's not quite the same, but similar. He comes in with never mind then. Throw it all out the window.
Back and forth. They are waiting. Nope, lock it in. They go with Diana. We're going to have to see what Xpecial brings out here. Looks like we're going for Reginald on this one, but can go back and forth as they lock in. It is for Reginald. Reginald used to play a whole heck of a lot of Kennen back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, we heard Dyrus say in an interview, it was like, I love playing Kennen, but if we ever get it, it goes to Reggie because he's all about that mid lane Kennen. The thing you want to point out here is the Janna pick after Kennen was picked early. You definitely expect that to be the support you're going to go to if you're going up against Kennen, because as we saw, Choster just use it to great effect. I have to say, it's a lot of chance also that he happened to be right next to the wall, and it worked out perfectly, shooting Kennen back over, but
he still had to press R.
We'll definitely give him the credit for that one. It was a beautiful play, and Janna's knockback is a perfect counter to Kennen's ultimate, so pretty obvious pick there for the support for Dignitas. I like that one. The not so obvious pick was the Dyrus using top lane Yorick.
Right. The guy who made it, Bear at Riot Games, had the idea, made it, and he played against it, right? No, he played it, and he was like, I'm just winning my lane. Like, I'm kind of getting bored. And then he played against it, and he's like, this is what I was doing to the other guy. Oh, my gosh.
I'm so sorry.
You can see. We'll have to see what that can be done in the top lane by Dyrus, but we are into the 4th match of the day. Rivington the 3rd and Kobe to bring it to you live here on the Rift and for the LCS Summer Split.
Yeah, so the Yorick top lane is very interesting to me. I'm not a top lane player, and so in solo queue, if I get forced out of jungle, my preferred role, and I have to play top, then I'm like, well, I'll just play Yorick and spam things. And I like to go with that Spirit of the Elder Lizard, but we'll have to see if Dyrus goes the option of getting a tier, like a lot of them do, first. It's a very interesting choice because you can really control where your power spike is going to be. If you spend a lot of money on mana, like we see the Ezreal's, the blue Ezreal's doing, then you have a sort of a lull in your power.
A lot of pressure being shown, maybe not pressure, just like a dance-off, if you will. TSM seeing that happening.
Step up 3, the Rift.
Reggie really getting himself pretty deep here.
Yeah, and we have both teams, getting deep wards on the red side jungle. TSM doing their part, getting that very important Wraith Bush ward. Love having that one as a jungler because it gives you so much information about your opponent jungler, knowing if he even steps into that red side.
So Reginald, knowing that they were placing wards up top, I thought he was going to get himself pinched in, but he played it safe enough next to his turret that he was all right. A lot of flasks coming in for the side of Dignitas in this laning phase.
Yeah, everybody big fan of the regen on that one. It was, changed a little bit to be a bit more expensive. But there have been so many starting item changes that we do have this nice variety. A couple Dorans and a good mix-up. We have the Yorick going with the early Fairy Charm, whereas the Kha'Zix has that, that flask and no ward. Going 3 potions with the flask means that he's not going to have any extra vision.
Well, let's see what kind of lane swaps they do as they get the matchup going. We will have that face-off. Kiwi Kid is going to go mid versus Reginald on this one. So they're going to send the swap top, and the duo lanes will swap it up. So swap. And we're going to have Ez and Patoy on Janna in top lane. There's Ignite down to Kiwi Kid. Reginald looking for some damage.
Patented Reggie move there. Level 1 Ignite. He likes to get that extra AP.
And bottom lane. Everybody's just getting Ignite trigger happy here.
And damage. It looks like he's told Dyrus about the reasoning behind his level 1 Ignite strategy, and Dyrus is a fan as well.
He's in the mid lane. Right. Dyrus, did you use it yet? All right, cool. We're good. We're good to go. Everybody's on par right now. So Kiwi Kid trying to put a little early pressure there. Wild Turtle doing what Draven does best, trying to be a bully in the lane. That's what we said TSM was bringing to the table, and they're going from second one here.
Yeah, exactly what you can see with a Doran's Blade start Kennen. Huge bully as well. It looks like he's going to recall and go back very quickly now and purchase... what's it going to grab here? Another ward. So he was feeling a little bit unsafe, even though he did have the topside river warded, which means Wild Turtle and Special should know that Crumbs is up here.
Yeah, there's going to be a good attack. The pink ward is there as well, so they didn't have anything coming on them from the front side, but they're going to be able to use this to their advantage. They get back. Here comes odd one from the backside. Are they going to be able to get the damage down? They're chasing this pretty hard, trying to keep them there baited for the fight. Ooh. The double buff is almost going over, but they get the bleed off with a little bit of a health pop. They're going to be all right.
Yeah, so there were those river wards we were talking about that saw Crumbs come all the way up there. It looked like Turtle and X-Special were caught off a little bit off guard, and they had to burn an extra flash, but it wasn't too bad. They put a lot of pain on the retreating Dignitas.
So Reggie putting that ward up towards the Wraith area for himself, and figured he may have tried to use this to get a bit more aggressive and harassy if he can beat Kiwi Kid in lane, but looks like he just did it for complete safety. Actually, he put it in lane.
Yeah,
I'm a liar. I didn't see Kiwi Kid's dot on it because I was looking at the minimap.
going with that very popular mid lane ward to see exactly where Kha'Zix will go. Because this way you only have to use one ward, and you can see whichever way he leaves the lane, then you can notify that side of the map, and they can back off accordingly. Meanwhile, still down there, Dyrus, he does not have any extra vision in the bottom. So if there is going to be a Crumbs jungle visit, then it'll be a bit dangerous for him.
Seeing if they're trying to plan anything here. They're not really mobilizing too much. The junglers have somewhat made a presence towards that top lane. Everybody was able to get out quite safely as we have no kills in the game yet. So 5 minutes in, everybody just kind of watching the pitchers go over the plate as they feel each other out and figure out where they can find an advantage here.
Well, looking at that top lane, we've got 2 pink wards from Xpecial to just control oh no, now he only put 1.
Yep.
He was taking out the second pink ward from Dignitas. There were 2 pink wards from Dignitas, 1 from Xpecial. The battle over the bushes in this top lane, just the vision is getting pretty high.
Setting everything back up, we're going to see Odd One right behind Dyrus this time, the adage being behind Reginald, but we're going to see if he can get him some assists. There's no real ward down there. Reggie gets aggressed on in the mid lane. It looks like we may see that aggression going down onto Scar. He gets hit up quite hard, going for Tribush. Looks like he was going to ward. No, he does not have one on him. That's because he placed it, but he gets out alive. It's up towards the top lane, Kobe. It's going to be Crumbs going on to Wild Turtle. Wild wants to kill. He puts on barrier. He has the exhaust down. One more axe, but he doesn't get it out. A great bait and kill for Cutie Pie.
Ooh, so they make another visit up top. Crumbs, his first one was successful when they had wards. This time they didn't have any more wards. The vision system ran out for
patience.
them. Yeah, there's no herald here for TSM. Hark! Crumbs approaches once again.
Kiwi Kid, more pressure onto Reginald. Yeah, they're trying to pressure that. They know they have it. They want to get the minions into the tower so they can get some purchases on. That's going to be good money for Cutie Pie. And like we say, if he's going blue build, being up in the beginning helps that immensely.
It's really kind of essential now at this point. So many blue Ezreals have fallen flat when they don't get the early lead. And people have actually been giving out a lot of criticism for people going that build, but if you do get ahead early, it's so hard to come back from because of the extra slows and stuff. Reggie going full on. Kid.
Flash for a flash there. Kha'Zix still with the ultimate, so he may have the heads up as they go in. Both ignites are up as well for that fight. So we'll have to see who has the upper hand there. And as we look at the items kind of taking a break, the fighting seems to have lulled. It does seem like Dyrus has gone for that tier instead of the gold, or the lizard.
So yeah, he's starting out with the tier early, going to want to turn that into a Muramana as early as possible. The AD extremely strong with Yorick, and just having the sustain right now is pretty much all for the lane game. So he can, Reggie now the one on the back foot.
There it is, I said it was going to be an all-in heads up, and it's going to be Kiwi Kid coming out on top. That was, everybody knew that was going to be a close fight, and they made it nice.
Yeah, down to the wire there. No more ult or flash for Reggie. Means that Kiwi Kid knew he was going to have to stay in there, and there was not going to be a threat of the slicing Maelstrom, but it does mean 2 kills now for Dignitas.
See what they can do. Reggie can still be effective in those late game fights. Dying now isn't too much of a problem for him, obviously. 2 kills to dig, though, is going to put them up. Nice 1,000 gold, just about. No pressure to the dragon just yet. There hasn't been too much movement, so everybody's just going to work off of what they have now. That's 1 kill for Kiwi, who's moved to the mid. If you're just joining us, and that's 1 kill coming up for Cutie Pie in that top lane as they kind of had a falter gank, but they've definitely stayed away from that top lane. Odd One has not come back since.
Yeah, and Crumbs definitely came back, but this time there was 1 ward by Xpecial that was placed over this wall. It didn't quite even get into the tri-bush, but that's enough vision that they saw Crumbs when he was trying to get in place for that elastic slingshot. And so the 3rd attempt here by Crumbs was unsuccessful, and they're going to be okay.
So not as much bullying to come out of these lanes as I thought would be in the early part of the game. We do see Reginald trying to piece together his Seeker's Arm Guard so he can chance up against Kiwi Kid in that mid lane. We see Skara in the bottom, and Skara's actually been put in the long lane, in the solo lane, or side lane, a few times for Dignitas, but they didn't put the AD carry in support mid this game.
Yeah, Skara is one of the mid laners that's had the most experience in those side lanes, I have to say, because he's been just put down there a lot of the times on several different champions. Diana definitely one of his favorites, and it looks like he's not the only one in the bottom lane as Crumbs trying to get into position.
Dyrus playing it safe for wards, and it seems like he knows Crumbs is there. That ward is in tri-bush, so he's just playing a little more aggressive than he should be, but he should be okay.
So Dyrus, yeah, since he does have the tri-bush ward, He's just trying to waste Crumb's time.
Yeah.
He's just getting close enough to sort of keep him interested.
Are you gonna?
Yeah, but Crumb's not having any of it. Decides to recall here.
Oh, look, odd one behind Reginald. Coming out, he moves back into the jungle. Kiwi Kid being seen by the ward of Reginald placed down. He's continuously doing that, like you said, Kobe, to keep vision on Kha'Zix. So it's really stopping the roam and forcing Kiwi to just fight.
Yeah, it's an interesting Oh, here we go. Crumb's coming up top again.
Wild Turtle, your support ran away from you. They tried to bait this one in, but Crumbs is up top. He bounces out of the or he flashes out of the bounce, I should say. Let's Bounce goes on to Special. Looks like he tries to slow them down still, but that's going to break a lot of crowd control with Let's Bounce for Zach, and it's not going to be a kill. Looked very scary, but Team Solo Mid finds their way out.
Almost get caught again. Crumbs with the perfect elastic slingshot, but Wild Turtle having his flash means that they do get out of this one okay. And seeing the jungler up top means that TSM do not hesitate, going to grab that dragon, and that actually will put them ahead if Scar is not able to pull off some miraculous steal.
No, he's staying in lane. They're also not even going to get the top turret because Turtle and Xpecial still have enough HP after that entire engagement to stay. We do see the flash still on Xpecial, so they are safe from a gank if it comes in under the turret. Maybe not so if Kiwi Kid makes his way up. Here they go. Crumbs getting the damage down onto Xpecial. He still has the passive. The turret's going to go off from him. Focusing on the minions. They're clear to do this. It's going to be back onto Kiwi Kid. They're going to play this safely for the kills.
My favorite part about playing Zac is turret diving, because if you have your passive up, the cell division just means you can go ham. You can stay in there until it knocks you out, and then it's going to reset as soon as you drop into Boblets.
Very good pressure by Dignitas right now, not allowing really any roam to come from Team Solo Mid. It's all been reactionary by where the odd one is. They did take Dragon down. They're trying to pressure some turrets, but it looks like they've lost a turret to the Dragon, so everything evening out a bit here with the gold lead now in favor of Dignitas.
Yeah, Dignitas definitely in the lead right now. They're looking pretty good. We did just have Dyrus finish up his Manamune, so at least he's getting that ticking even faster now. When it's just tier, it's only on the spell cast, but now it's on his auto attacks too, so it'll charge up much quicker.
We got Kiwi Kid going for super face crush here. He just buys up a BF sword as he goes back. 83 minions. He's going to be the top in the game until Wild Turtle gets these next few, and then he'll be on top for 12 minutes in. 4 kills for Dig. Team Solo Mid hasn't really been able to activate everything. It's all been in defense, and like here, they go in. Kiwi Kid onto Xpecial. There's the exhaust that he had from the gank up top when they died, unfortunately, but he's able to save himself there.
Yeah, you're right. You know, TSM have not been able to initiate anything, and for Dignitas, it's really been Kiwi Kid actually as the point man, getting things rolling, and they're going to get this turret and get out just in time.
But we got to consider, Kiwi Kid plays a lot of the champions that, you know, Skara plays. He's used to the solo lane, can go mid perfectly fine, and now doing very well on Kha'Zix, really setting up a lot of things for his team, and they weren't even afraid to be under that turret the whole time.
Yeah, they were not scared at all, and we talked about flexibility being one of the most important things if you're a pro League of Legends player these days. So yeah, Kiwi Kid playing in the mid lane, you have to be comfortable going in any lane on the map, no matter what type of champion you usually pick. You have to be comfortable in any of the lanes.
And with that happening, it's almost kind of you widen your champion pool a little bit more, and it'll, you know, if Skara gets pressured out so much, that helps him as well.
Exactly, and Skara, he's doing fine in that bottom lane. You know, he hasn't gotten any kills, but he's just farming up against the Yorick. Yeah. Like we said, very frustrating to do, but he's staying right in there. Making
it happen. So Cutie Pie now, the Lizard is on, looking to probably get that Sheen next, stacking up his tier as it goes. These guys' tiers stacked up. We have a 300 onto Kiwi Kid's Kha'Zix and 40 onto that tier of the Goddess. So he just picked that up, and he's starting to get it ramped in. We have the AD carry support now. It's going to be Turtle and Xpecial trying to push down the mid lane as they don't want to face off against that top lane. It's getting too much pressure from Crumbs, and Reginald has a way easier escape from that.
Yeah, they did not have very good luck up in that top lane. The vision game was definitely won by Patoy, and Crumbs' repeat visits just really pushed them out of it. It looks like we even have Odd One actually gonna go for a push gank on this ward, so it's not gonna catch anybody off guard.
That's credit to Patoy. He just put that down.
Yeah, it's definitely going to dissuade them from any sort of engage here.
Not playing it the Dyrus way. They're not gonna bait it out and kind of keep Odd One there. We'll see if Reginald can get them to go into the fight, but it's not gonna happen. Oh, playing some sneaky moves, gets him to stop the back, and he's like, all right, fine, I'll go farm something.
Well, now at least they know that Patoy put a ward in that bush.
Well, it looked like he attacked the minions, so maybe he's just saying,
They're
hey.
like, maybe that was just a fortunate occurrence for us.
So, yeah, he backs off. We're going to see the Odd One now grabbing his red. Scar onto the blue, and that's going to be a steal for him, and nobody is the wiser. Dyrus in that lane, 113 to 105. So, Scar, yeah, he can take some time to walk out of lane and grab this.
That's the second benefit from that ward up there. They saw that Odd One was up there for so long, and the delay from Kiwi Kid with the ultimate means that Scar can steal the blue buff, doesn't get his Moonfall off in time after the dodge. Very, very quick flash there from Dyrus gets him out of trouble.
Crumb's absolutely leaving a trail everywhere and anywhere. He has been bot, he has been mid a few times, kind of not the easiest to gank, but I don't think we'll see him top again. He's actually avoiding Reginald's lane as they go in. They are going to be able to, oh, he misses the cocoon just off of the side.
Kiwi Kid with the nice zigzag jukes right there.
Got pressure on to Dyrus. He's just going to waltz around his turret. This is Yorick. This is diving at Yorick. Crumbs goes for Let's Bounce. He has thrown the ultimate on, so he's on the double fight. Oh, he stepped away from himself. It gave Scar the chance to click on the right Yorick, and he's going to be able to get out of this one. Dyrus only alive for a few more seconds with his ultimate. Crumbs is like, dude, are you okay? I think, okay, oh.
And now they can shove this lane, but it might bait them in. Odd One here could try and clean up. It'd be really dangerous for him to go for it. Looks like he just wants to grab some minions.
That's like,
oh
no.
He repelled up.
There wants to grab a little,
yeah, he's not gonna
snack
make any
there
plays
for a second, but he changed his mind. He's not as hungry as he thought. Eyes bigger than the stomach. Reginald trying to protect top lane, and that 2v1 is definitely pushing him back. So it has not worked in their favor that they switched these lanes. It's giving Cutie Pie a free farm lane.
And you're giving a blue Ezreal a free farm lane. He feels no pressure to fit in a Bloodthirst or any sort of mid-game damage. He's saying, yes, I'm going, straight for this blue Ezreal build because we've had this free farm lane top. We've had so much extra pressure here. He feels comfortable.
They didn't have any wards behind them for this. Kiwi Kid gets kind of caught out there. He's not able to get the initiation that they wanted. The first time Team Solo Mid's been able to go aggressive on an attack, they may not be in range for more, and it's something they needed.
Reggie did get this done on the very edge of his ultimate onto Cutie Pie, but it wasn't going to be enough because he still had his flash. Arcane Shift and Flash is so much disengaged.
See Dignitas kind of taking the breather, the cooldown, and the blue pill back home. What items do they grab? Cage's lucky pick coming in, the tier still being stacked, a sword, longsword rather, being picked up by Kiwi Kid for a bit more damage. His Bloodthirster finished 16 minutes into this one, and we're pretty close to Azania's onto Scara too. He has been free in his lane, has a kill for himself. Odd One, I thought he was getting hungry for that blue buff. That was going to be a tough fight for him though. Just pressure for Dragon. Yeah,
it's okay. So he was able to scare off Scara, and since they have this ward in the tri-bush, it means that they will get another Dragon. So saving grace for TSM. At least they're getting the global gold from these objectives.
Kiwi Kid is right there. Crumbs goes in. They are still able to get it. Odd One smites the Dragon. Special taking quite a bit. He ults himself for the crowd control, but flashes out. Now can assist the team with more utility. Face to face, the 5-on-5.
They can't re-engage.
It's Special walking away. The support can't be in there. There's too much damage taken by Team Solo Mid right now. The ultimate going on to Wild Turtle. He puts himself in the front and tries to get kills, but it goes down instantly. Team Solo Mid is picking back and forth, but both teams are scratching at each other right now with 1 kill each.
That was an essential flash from Odd One right there. He was going down, and now he's burning! He's burning! Whew, the shield from Special.
Stop, drop, and roll. He keeps himself alive. 17 and a half in. The second fight we've seen from Team Solo Mid coming out here. They're getting a little bit more aggro on this. Dignitas, though, still controlling the game.
Special's got the fire extinguisher ready, able to save Odd One's life, but it doesn't mean that they can defend this turret. Dignitas putting a lot of damage on it. Good wave clear right there.
Romana's being charged up right now. Actually, the Man Moon picked up for Cutie Pie, so he can get some damage. That's what Kiwi Kid's looking for with that longsword. We'll see what they can do. Just guarding their turret. TSM definitely on the back foot right now as they're getting pressured. The Dragon going to them definitely helped. It's going to get them back into this a little bit, but they're still down 2,000 gold right now, and like this, it's always been on the chase for a fight. They're not tunneling into it. They know when to stop, but they're not getting the kills they need.
Yeah, and it's something to remember in those very long fights. Yorick is not something that a lot of these teams have played against in a while, so having that extra ultimate for Wild Turtle means that even if they do focus him down, they're going to have that extra time of Draven just being manly Draven.
Oh, going in. Slicing Maelstrom comes out. Kiwi Kid throws on the ulti. He hits the Q, though, as he's still a little bit not invisible, is what I want to say. Can he get the W down? The charge to come up soon. He's only got 1 mark. It may not be enough to kill, and he's forced out of the fight. Still, good back and forth between those two.
Another key juke there.
Oh dear. There is Elise going down. Odd1 finds himself a little too far out. Maybe the tunnel vision did come in for a second. 3 on the chase. Patoy still with that Zephyr up, so he's got the movement speed. Will he apply it to Expecial? Puts out the Howling Gale. There goes the Zephyr. The kill to be locked down. They're just waiting for Skara. No! Oh, Crumbs grabbed that one from the back. Or it was going to be... Yeah, it was Expecial. Or Patoy, rather.
That was a tower notification. Anyway, they finally ended up with that Crumbs, who we saw, our Kiwi kid, who got away from Reggie, ended up going down there to Dyrus. So they were finally rewarded with the Kazakh's head.
So Expecial waiting to come back up. Cutie Pie, oh, that's his support. I was like, somebody's in that bush up top. It's going to be Patoy. They're still safe. He's just warding to keep it even safer. Hard hats on for Cutie Pie and Patoy as they farm the bottom lane in the face of Reginald. They have ward right now. The ward's telling them where everybody's going. Wild Turtles rotation to mid, and they're just setting up for farming.
Yeah, look at the wards here. We only have a couple purples way down bottom, but all these Dignitas wards are on both sides of TSM's jungle.
That vision is power. Isn't that what it is, Kobe?
Yes, that's it. Money is vision, and vision is power. So there you go. TSM are really going to have to do something to actually get that back, too. It means getting an Oracles. Even though that's a huge investment, you can't do much at 20 minutes if your entire jungle is warded, because every single move that you go for is going to be signaled to Dignitas before you even get there.
So we've kind of seen the all-out 5v5s. They usually get strung out. Somebody dies first. We get the 4v4, and then they scatter, and it's really all about how much poke Kiwi and Cutie Pie can do and when Skara can catch up to the fight. That's what we saw last time. We'll see what happens as they approach the next fight. Team Solo Mid still not feeling comfortable enough to make their own moves here, waiting for Dignitas to show.
Yeah, they have a lot of poke. You're right. This Dignitas team, the poke is going to be a problem in the end because they also have Janna for that disengage. And this is the Kazakhs before the changes, so his W still applies as passive, that unseen threat, and adds a lot of damage.
Reggie getting jumped on right there, and that's what the wards are providing for them. These kills to start. Team Solo Mid back on the defensive roll as they head towards the turret. Odd1 forced over the side to repel on Wraiths. Back with the team now as they may try to push. This has always been Team Solo Mid. Now they try to kind of reinitiate on what happened in the cooldowns.
This is terrible news for TSM. Reggie is exactly what they need to get through the poke, little pieces of poke that Dignitas have. Without those mini stuns, they're just not going to be able to safely engage a fight right now, and they have to just defend turrets right now.
And Dignitas has slowly done what they usually end up doing late game. It's getting the 3-lane push as soon as possible.
Yeah, they've got Crumbs over there still in the mid lane trying to keep pressure on that outer turret that's left. Wow, oh, here we go, the engage from Odd1.
Jumping in, couldn't they get it? There is that Monsoon we were talking about, the big disengage for this poke team, and it's all just everybody throwing out things to try and catch. Now back around, it's going to be Skara getting into the fight. He goes in onto 3, the Odd1 and Reginald very low. Crumbs comes in, but he gets polymorphed out. No Let's Bounce, and TSM, they're disengaged just as good.
Disengaged from both
I wouldn't
teams.
say just as good. They're all bleeding right now, but they're able to get out.
They did get out with their lives, but that was a great turn by Dignitas, and they got some nice cooldowns. It's gonna be all the pressure on their hands right now, so they'll be rewarded with that. Even though they didn't get kills, they can get the turret.
And no respect for turrets right now. They are completely throwing their entire team there, tanking without minions. So Dignitas feeling very much in the upper hand right now, but this is scary, a place you can get complacent. They're not showing them any of it, though.
Cutie Pie with the forward arcane shift to get the last mystic shot onto Wild Turtle. Even though they used the Yorick ultimate, there's no team fight occurring. Cutie Pie got out after that one. Great play by him. Even though he doesn't have Frozen Fist for the slow from Blue Ezreal, he's got a red buff.
It's like they're almost onto Crumbs, but they may chase? Maybe not? No, they will not chase. That would have been a little too much for them. Like I said, they know when to kind of back out of the situation. They have 2 lanes that extremely need pushing. Dyrus gets caught out. The minion wave giving the vision there. A great flash over the wall, but it looks like he may still go down in the situation to an ignite. No, he lives on that one. Reginald going down now in the fight as well. Dignitas getting another reserve fighter here. Crumbs coming in from the side once he got pushed out towards Baron, and it's Odd1 also forced out of the fight. These guys are just finding themselves bad situations, or even worse.
Key plays right there. Patoy, body blocking for Cutie Pie, taking that cocoon. Oh my god, more plays still.
There we go. Kiwi Kid on the tail. Oh, train the dragon, train something, train Bugs, get out of there. It's going to be Turtle for the safety. They do call it in, and Cutie Pie still has the conscience to say, I don't need that other extra kill on my 2-0.
So
3-1-2.
plays from that one there was Patoy taking the body block there, taking the cocoon to the face for Cutie Pie. Then Odd One repelling up, juking everyone, going into the Wraith camps over the wall and getting out after. Kiwi Kid coming in for the cleanup. Beautiful plays all around the map. Great camera work, guys.
Really something you got to think about. When you're Elise, you have diagonal escapes in mid. It's pretty fantastic. And Odd One knew to place himself there. Second nature of him playing Elise so much that he brought it as a challenger for himself.
This is going to be dangerous. Both of them have hops, though. They can get out of this.
Oh, they love hops. Everybody loves hops. It's going to be a party. But no, they stay in. They give up Dragon. Oh, that was close. That would have been real nice.
This is a very entertaining game, I have to say. Okay, so this Dragon goes to TSM. They actually really needed that one. They needed it a lot more than Dignitas needed it. That gold is going to be one stepping stone to get back in the game.
7,000 gold at 24 minutes. It's pretty rough.
And now Patoy, he's going to just sort of continue to close out the Vision. TSM worked so hard to get Vision back just inside their jungle, and now they've got an Oracles here for Dignitas. It's all bad news.
We haven't really considered that the one turret down for Dignitas is mid, which is why Team Solo Mid has no pressure pretty much anywhere. The escapes are still chases for Dignitas. There's no turrets for them to hide behind. So out of their base, it's all run for safety when they find something they don't want. Yeah,
Dignitas, they're doing an amazing job controlling the map. We talked about the vision of the wards already, the deep wards, but all of those turrets are what enabled that to happen in the first place.
See what they try to do. Lulu is going to back off of this, but Scar is in the bottom lane, so they won't really be able to activate much. They know the support is out. They want to try to get this time in. The window is short. Crumbs goes for the let's bounce. It's only going to be a bit of crowd control. They just wanted that fight without Special being there. It looks like they're going to get a 1v1. Scar and Dyrus going head-to-head. Kiwi Kid on the other side jumps over, and it looks like Dyrus is going to play this one smart, knowing there was just too much time with too little vision.
That Ghost blocking the extra little missile from W. He's still in trouble, though. Dyrus is going to have to walk out of this one.
It's scary that Crumbs can do that, dive almost blindly into the situation, knowing his team will get there in time. They're tanky enough. Like I said, they know they're ahead, and they are pressuring this.
Blue Ezreal, 3 core items have been completed, so QT5's got plenty of poke for this siege. Him plus a blue buff on Kiwi Kid means it's going to be a very rough time at the turret for TSM.
This is such a completed blue, like you said, for Cutie. Already the Iceborne Gauntlet. It's TSM trying to follow up the fights to get kills, and now with that, they won't be able to do anything but walk on ice. Wild Turtle trying to farm out the turret. Their siege clear isn't really that heavy for a turret either, so it's always poke for Dig.
Yeah, TSM really need just an all-in team fight because Dignitas, they have the poke from Kiwi Kid and Cutie Pie to get someone down low, and then they can go in for assassination. Right. Skara is ready to jump in. He's got his Zanyas, and he can group people up. So once they get someone into that danger zone, him and Kiwi Kid will finish them off.
Turret continuously taking damage with each consecutive minion wave coming in. Cutie Pie once again, 1-2, Arcane Shift out, and it's just rinse and repeat until it goes down.
Yeah, look at this turret just taking a beating. They can easily get it on the next wave here. Yep. It looks like they're going to stick around and wait for it. Very patient play. Kiwi Kid still with full mana from that blue buff.
Now we've seen Team Solo Mid as the wave comes up here being aggressive. Who are we watching for to make that first move?
It's going to be whoever gets poked down first, and then Scar will probably be the one going in. Crumbs right after him.
Well, it's going to be Crumbs first. Oh, Scar right after him, yes. He's going to go in. Reginald gets it down. Is he able to activate? No, he does get the Lulu ulti, but he still gets hit up. It's going to be Kiwi Kid and Cutie Pie coming up with kills right there. This turret will definitely be theirs. They have just made it that much safer, and they won't even need the wave for it. The inhibitor in their eyes now, Kobe, and it's looking grim for TSM.
All right, so Crumb's a little bit quicker on the trigger there. He's still going to lead the way, and that's going to be first inhibitor down and a very, very convincing take right there for Dignitas.
See, haven't had much impact. I'm trying to figure out where TSM just hasn't been moving. Yes, we've said they've kind of been backing up on everything. Odd One kind of made an approach to a few jungle ganks, but really didn't come up with anything. It was always Dignitas getting out with that last bit of HP. Now we're going to have to see if Cutie Pie can do it. Dodging that in his blue suede shoes. There is the Iceborne Gauntlet. Like I said, walking on ice. Pretty hard to get away when that happens, and it looks like they are going to be able to turn this one around. from a 3v2.
So Kiwi also with some, Cutie Pie also with some moves of his own. We've seen some really good dodges, I have to say. Kiwi Kid overextending sometimes, but he's always able to sidestep at the right time just to get himself out of there. And what we thought was going to be a play from Oddwin there actually turns into be his own death. And that is really just adding insult to injury as TSM are just scrambling right now.
It's really one of those, you know, we're not playing our game. We're playing in the minds of our opponents right now. Everything is working.
You can see just how disorganized they are. They don't even know what the plan of attack is. They've got people in all 3 lanes out trying to farm right now. Reggie's all the way bottom when Baron is up. They're almost just saying, we can't even fight these guys at Baron. Even if we have vision, we're just going to have to give that to them and try and get a little bit of farm here.
Full Muramana is coming out. We only have the home guards on Odd1 and Dyrus to get back out. So even if Reginald tries to go back and get to the Baron, it's not going to happen. Oh, the ultimate hits him clean. Kiwi Kid just picking that one up, served up on a platter.
Beautiful shot there from Cutie Pie too. Very nice aim. And Kiwi Kid has just been the story for Dignitas this game. If you're going to call out MVP for them already, it's probably going to be Kiwi.
You know, I scratched my head a little bit when I saw that pick. I was like, all right, it's going to be kind of just that lane he's going to win and or possibly do even in. Huge damage from him, though. Like you said, playmaking right here. Might even have to jump up. Only needs the spikes to come out. The red buff is on. He chooses not to. And that's, you know, the second time he's made the right call. Cutie Pie now going for a kill. They get the Iceborne Gauntlet on. The damage just coming out of everywhere right now. Reginald gets himself on the other side, is only able to help poke. Dyrus getting pushed out of the fight. The 1v1s aren't even working for TSM right now.
Yorick ulti down, but that was on Reggie, and that's going to be really the last hope here for TSM. Now they're down Reggie, and they're down the Yorick ultimate. That means another surrender for TSM.
That was an amazing game by Dignitas. Seeing earlier what they did after the game, it almost looked shocked, like they hadn't played it or ended as soon as they got into Champion Select. They weren't even shaking hands, right? They were kind of disorganized, but now they wiped that. Dignitas truly knows the power of a set of one game, and sometimes you just got to go with momentum in the next one.
Really, really showing what it means to be a veteran in the LCS here. Dignitas, they did not drop a beat. After that ridiculously long game, they still completely focused, and they just ran this game from the very beginning. Crumbs with the repeat, games up top.